This week's portion of Vayera opens up that God appeared to Abraham in the plains of Mamre. The commentaries ask, why is it important to tell us where God came to speak to Abraham, where that was? And they explain that Mamre was getting credit. Mamre, who was a friend of Abraham, was getting a reward because Mamre advised Abraham about the bris. He advised Abraham about the circumcision. So therefore, God appears to Abraham, and as a reward to Mamre, God speaks to Abraham on Mamre's property. What do we mean by the fact that our sages tell us that Mamre gave Abraham advice about the bris? The great Chofetz Chayim commentary asks, does Abraham need advice? Of course, Abraham doesn't need advice. Abraham is ready. Abraham believes, not only does Abraham believe in one God, Abraham was ready to give up his life for his belief in one God. He was thrown into, as a small child, he was thrown into a burning furnace. Abraham dedicated his life, even up to this time, to teaching people about God, to inspiring people about the belief in one God. And Abraham had challenges after challenges and challenges and still stood strong and stood firm with his faith in God. So God tells Abraham he should circumcise himself. Circumcise Ishmael. Is Abraham going to do it? Of course he's going to do it. Later on in the portion, God tells Abraham to bring his son Isaac as a sacrifice. And Abraham says, Abraham's ready to do it. What God says, I do. So what does it mean when we're told that Mamre advised Abraham about the bris? And the Chofetz Chayim, the great commentary on the great commentary Rashi, Chofetz Chayim explains that Mamre inspired Abraham. Because Abraham wasn't sure. Of course, he was sure, absolutely sure he's going to do the bris, but he wasn't sure if he should do it in very quietly or he should make a public display about it. And there were reasons to do it quietly because there might be some people to protest. And Abraham wasn't sure what to do. Mamre advised Abraham to do it in public, to make it a public matter. And this would sanctify the name of God. Abraham, at an old age, listens to God and does the mitzvah of circumcision. The Chofetz Chayim explains further that Abraham, of course, was going to do it, but he needed some strengthening. Mamre strengthened his heart. Abraham was ready to do it, and he knew that he wanted to do it. In fact, he wanted to do it in a public way, but just wasn't sure if that was the right move or not. And Abraham was strengthened by Mamre. My son, Rabbi David Yaakov Becker, asked the question, does Abraham need strengthening? Abraham, who is teaching the world about God, Abraham, who's ready, he was as a small child thrown into a burning furnace for his faith in God. Abraham, when Abraham decides what's right, he's ready to do what's right in honor of God. From the Chofetz Chayim, we see that the Chofetz Chayim commentary says that Mamre strengthened Abraham. My son, Rabbi David Becker, points out that we see even there times that even a man of faith, a colossal spiritual giant, could benefit from strengthening, from someone else's strength, from someone else's words, from someone else's encouragement. What a message, what a powerful message that is. That even if our father Abraham was so strong and so secure and so sure about what he was doing in his life and understood his mission, even Abraham at times at times is impacted by strengthening from someone else, inspiration from someone else. How much more so do we need and we be ready to be inspired by others? And if there are times that we feel down, and times that we feel, wait a second, am I spiritually weak? Is there something wrong with me? I need some strength. I need strengthening. There's nothing wrong. We're human, and even Abraham at this time needed strengthening, needed inspiration. It's important for us to know for ourselves, and it's also important for us to know for someone else that we need to be ready whenever someone else needs to be strengthened or inspired, or is not sure about something, or is sure but needs a boost. Let's be ready to give that boost to our fellow Jew, and let's be ready if we need to accept a good, solid, kosher boost. Have a beautiful, magnificent, inspirational Shabbos.